It is 8:29 on July 14th, 2025, and I declare the meeting of Narrenheim Town Council open for business. And do we have any declarations of pecuniary interest? Delegations, yes, we do. Thank you for coming.
for staying.
Yeah.
Thank you again for having me, and before I even start lying, this was very informative tonight, and I've done a lot of council presentations in my working career. For a team of three to go through what I can only imagine you're going through, kudos to you, and I mean, you guys have an uphill battle, and it's a lot of legwork, and I've seen municipalities with far more resources come up with far less, so kudos for that. My name's
Thank you.
Matthew Gagnon, co-founder and CEO of West. West stands for Waste to Energy Solutions and Technologies. The good news is I'm not here to sell you anything. We own all the equipment. My background, just by way of introducing how we got to where we are today, I've been in the renewable energy sector for my whole working career. If anybody's traveled to Manitoulin Island, the McLean Mountain Wind Farm, I was 13 years old when we started that project. So I've been in renewable energy, construction, micro and macro and telecom, and we looked at the waste space, looking at just organics 25 years ago. Challenge was 25 years ago, if I asked everybody to separate their kitchen and organics, I might as well be here speaking to you with 5 heads. It wasn't just gonna happen. Sad reality is we're creatures of comfort, we like convenience, and that just wasn't reality. So we had to look at bigger picture. Landfills aren't the solution. We have waste challenges, and in lies West. So we launched the company in 2000, developing a new technology that's non-combustion, and it's an electrically driven process. Couple of fun facts, maybe not so fun that, and I apologize that you're just having to look behind you. You may or may not have heard of the Great Pacific Floating Garbage Patch. Garbage is very present, all different forms of waste as we've seen tonight. Great Pacific Garbage Patch covers all of Ontario and 80% of Manitoba. It's one of 7. The UK is sarcastically trying to have it renamed a floating island to raise awareness. This is all plastic waste that's floating, that's on surface. There's parts of it that's thick enough you can walk on. So let alone our landfill situation. Harvard has a white paper by 2050 on our current trajectory. There'll be more waste in our oceans by mass than fish. Closer to home in Ontario, 91% of what Ontario puts in our blue boxes and our recycling programs under producer responsibility, 91% still ends up in a landfill. Northern Ontario has less than 10% of its approved landfill capacity left. Canada collects in landfills 36 million tons a year and rising. My generation, nobody fixes anything anymore. Breaks, we throw it out, we get on Amazon, we order another one, and nobody knows what happens with the waste because it goes to the dumpster, it goes curbside, and what do we do with it? Municipalities are trying to navigate all these new regulations, the volumes are increasing, the costs are astronomical, what do we do? So we know landfills aren't the solution, they're costly, good luck getting a new one permitted. You have a closure plan on top of all your operational expenses, and then there's an environmental implication of what happens if it wasn't designed or built, or what happens if you inherit a legacy landfill and it's tied to a waterway and there's a leachate problem. Our solution is all under roof in a controlled, contained environment. So what that means is anything that would have went to a landfill that's organic or carbon-based, we would now bring into a commercial industrial building that doesn't look any different than what Ted Bell's shop looks like. Everything is under roof. Our process is 100% electric. So from our shredders to our grinders to our conversion technology, everything's electric. Even the loaders and the equipment we use in the facility are the new Volvo electric loaders. Very clean, no carbon footprint. So how does this model work? And feel free to interrupt me if you have a question. I know you guys have been here long, and I'll try and go through this quick in the essence of the rest of your evening. So what we do is we look at the waste profile, so both volume and the characterization. So whether it's plastics, the banana peels, the old mattress, tires off your dad's old pickup truck, anything that's organic or carbon based. Then we'll look at that volume and that profile, and we'll look for a location that we can build a shop, commercial, industrial, like what you see at Ted Bell's here. Apologize, I just realized I was standing in front of you. So that project needs to be zoned properly. It needs to have access to 3-phase power. And we use water for the washrooms and lunchrooms and shower facilities. Under Ontario's new legislation, advanced recycling, they recognize the use of thermal treatment to upcycle, so to convert a waste stream into something else. That's where West falls in. They've amended the environmental permitting process that if you can demonstrate you can upcycle 70% or greater, they have a streamlined permitting process to combat our landfill shortages. Where we fall in when we're doing kitchen waste, organics, blue box, wood waste, etc., we convert anywhere from 98 to 100% upcycle efficiency between our manufactured renewable natural gas and our manufactured byproducts, all in that same facility. The one thing I forgot to mention at the outset, Ontario right now, for the first time in a long time, our Minister of Environment on May 12th, in the House of Commons, publicly confirmed that 40% of Ontario's waste today is going to the states, Michigan, Ohio, and New York. Michigan Senator is proposing as of 2026, all imported waste above and beyond tariff charges is going to go up tipping fee 1,000%. So Ontario has a waste crisis. This plays into this model. So we develop the project, so we take it through all the permitting, we fund that whole process. We're fully licensed, fully permitted. We construct the project and then we own and operate it. No capital cost to any of the local businesses, the municipalities. We own and operate this. So think of it like a cell phone plan for garbage, and we're the owner operator of a generating station. From there, we create jobs locally from that waste stream. So whether it's your municipal waste, whether it's sawmill waste, whether it's what's left in the forestry, whether it's diverting all the plastic under producer responsibility that everybody is hoping is a solution to our plastic. York University last year has a white paper. Ontario spent 27% more trying to recycle its plastic, and we increased our percentage of plastic recycling by 1%. We spent 27% more to recycle 1% more. And when you look at upcycling, everybody talks about a circular economy, it's a buzzword. Every plastic from that water bottle has a cycle life. So yes, you can grind it and shred it and haul it back down to Southern Ontario and use an amount of hot water to sterilize it and put it back into generation 7 times. But what's cycle life? Every piece of plastic has cycle life. So I'm a big proponent. If we can recycle it, repurpose it, by all means, let's do it where it makes climate sense and where it makes economic sense. Shipping plastic from Red Lake, Ontario to Southern Ontario to have 91% of it go to a landfill and the municipality or the vendors are paying that cost. I don't know if you noticed, but in the last 5 years, your plastic water bottles, after you drink them, they're really soft and squishy. It's because it's 50% recycled plastic. Every time you break plastic down, it loses its ability to maintain structural integrity. Europe tried producer responsibility 20 years ago. Doesn't work. Manufacturers got away from it because now the material that they're building, it's structurally compromised. So we need that solution. In rural Ontario, Canada, our biggest hardship right now is we're land rich and people poor. To move all this garbage everywhere, it costs money, big money, and that's not going away. So under this model, we come in, we analyze your waste, we design a facility scalable. So let's say that Naren brings in new industry next week and your garbage volume next year doubles. Our technology is scalable where we can add a second shift, a third shift, or we build onto the building and add 2 more modules so we can grow with our communities. So how our process works, we are not in the waste hauling. So we still see the GFLs, the waste managements, the millers as strategic partners. Right now, they're contracted to take waste from destination A to a landfill or a sorting facility. We become that new destination. In most cases, they'll actually, as West evolves, we'll have more destinations to choose from. So with their same operating expense and capital, they're going to pick up more garbage per day than they would today. And they're going to travel less in doing so. We did an analysis for Manitoulin Island. So I'm sure you're aware, most of Manitoulin's waste gets hauled to Espanola today. So everybody but Billings and Nini. And Billings has got a clock on it. We looked at diverting 1 truck from 4 of the central municipalities a week over the course of a West contract, and over the term of that contract, from 1 truck per week from 4 municipalities, the avoided fuel being consumed was 450,000 liters, and it was the equivalent of driving around the world 14.7 times. From 1 truck from 4 communities, just going from Manitoulin to Espanola. Keeping that waste on Manitoulin is going to create half a dozen to a dozen new jobs, going to generate clean electricity, and the same thing can be done for Espanola and their area. So once that waste that isn't hauled stays in the community and creates those jobs. We bring everything down to the size of a sugar cube. An example of that is, this is actually creosote railroad tie. We spent a year and a half proving that we can upcycle 100% of a creosote railroad tie. So we shred everything, I can pass that down if you want, down to that size of a sugar cube. Now it's a feedstock for our process. And then we have a reactor that's electrically driven and is non-combustion. I'll show you an image here in a minute. And we convert that waste stream that's the size of a sugar cube into a renewable natural gas. And we don't store that gas. I can pass it over for you. We convert that renewable natural gas. We use it as a source of fuel. Renewable natural gas is not considered a fossil fuel. You can generate electricity, heating or cooling, or a combination thereof. We have two manufactured byproducts from converting that. Biochar, which we sell back to agricultural industry as a soil amendment or to use in your gardens, and we produce fly ash. Fly ash we can sell back to the cement industry. We typically produce about 2% of what goes into our building. 2% ends up fly ash. Fly ash, when introduced to concrete, 10 to 20% can increase the tensile strength up to 8%. Are only two byproducts. So that's the biochar and the fly ash from a converted rail tie. When we do plastics or unsorted MSW, I'll do this, I'll do that so many times. We produce a carbon black. Carbon black is used for printer toners, computer chips, and new lithium ion batteries, all recyclable. We can even take green biomass. So a lot of forestry in the area, everything that gets left in the bush that MNRF doesn't know what to do with. Now we can create new industry, bring that out of the bush to these hubs and process it. With our technology, we don't need to dry it. We can process it at 52% moisture and it increases our hydrogen production. So that's biochar from wet biomass. Sorry.
There's a lot of rail ties sitting around.
That's a fun fact about rail ties. There's 3,019 ties on average per kilometer track. And not to pick on CP, but CP operates 22,500 kilometers of track across Canada alone. West is now an approved vendor. We've been working with Genesee, Wyoming, here on Central as well. And their head of environmental out of Jacksonville, Florida, told us sarcastically, we couldn't process their waste on the west coast of the United States in my working career. That's how much waste is being produced.
Well, because what has anybody done with railway ties?
It's federally regulated. So most of them right now will do a 1-for-1. So they take it out. In Ontario, it either gets hidden, stockpiled somewhere. It goes, small amount goes down to Walkers for incineration in Southern Ontario, but they're limited. And the rest goes to Quebec for incineration. But you're hauling from Northern Ontario to Quebec. 807 area code in Northwestern Ontario, they haul it all the way back to Winnipeg. It gets grinded and shredded and hauled into the States pre-COVID. They've been stockpiled. So you want to talk about similar issues you have tonight about leachate and contamination and accountability, same thing. So here we are trying to be elbows up and create jobs, and we're utilizing rail. Rail has a lesser carbon footprint than running trucks down the road, but we aren't talking full cycle. We aren't being accountable because they're federally regulated. So as long as the ties are track side or on their corridors, you start driving around and you look at the amount of rail ties piled up everywhere. But that now can be back to the community. So instead of them being left there to leach, we can bring them back into the project and upcycle them and get rid of that environmental liability. And the byproduct goes back to biochar to help our farmers improve their soil conditions. When you use biochar spread appropriately on a farmer's field, instead of fertilizing every year, you can actually go 1 in 4 to 5 years, depending on your soil health or pH balance. All usable. So behind you, and I'll apologize, I'll try and speed that up. This is just an example of the reduction line. So this is nothing that we manufacture. This is existing shredders and grinders. So basically, whether it's a railroad tie, your kitchen garbage bag, or the old mattress, it comes into a primary shredder. We have a magnet here to pick out any steel. We have a sorting machine or screening plant, if you will, anything that meets spec, because we're very energy conscious, continues on. Anything that doesn't meet spec goes back around and goes through a secondary shred. The byproduct, like what you saw in the jars, is what comes off the back end. So that waste stream is now a feedstock for that facility. We design the facilities to only run the reduction line during the day. It's all electric. It's under a roof. You're about 70 to 90 decibels while it's running is worst case. me talking right now, if anybody had a cell phone and a dB meter, I'm about 65 decibels just speaking to you, nothing offensive. That plant can give us enough feedstock to run 1 shift, 2 shifts, or 3 shifts, depending on what we're solving for. This is just a quick example of that to show you. We did a demo for a rail client, so full length rail ties, we were told that these were already clean. End of life ties, that the spikes, the nail plates, the tie plates were removed. On 40,000 kilograms, we shredded that in about 35 minutes. We recovered a couple 100 kilograms of recycled steel. So we basically bring the rail ties stage 1 down to the size of kindling for your fireplace. And then stage 2, it's down to the 3/4 inch minus. So all of what you're seeing here would be under roof in a controlled environment. I'll just skip the rest of that. So this is our pre-commercialization unit that's actually on Manitoulin right now. So we've been operating this, doing a series of testing, our renewable natural gas verification. We use Testmark and Sudbury, for an example, on our biochar. Mark Charbonneau owns Testmark Laboratories. When he saw the results for our biochar from creosote rail ties, he called us and, how did you guys do this? Our process is electrically driven. You can control electricity. I can turn the switches on and off and make the lights go on and off. We operate our system at 1,000 degrees Celsius. So any plastic, any organic matter that goes in, we actually frack and break the material bond. So we take that hydrogen and the methane and it's separated and isolated in the reactor without the presence of oxygen. The important thing to note, there's no chimney, there's no exhaust. We have 1 input, which is the waste, and we have 3 outputs. Our renewable natural gas and our biochar and our fly ash. It's an oxygen deprived non-combustion process. So our renewable natural gas comes out the side. We use that as a source of fuel. So we can put that onto a Tormont or a Jenbacher generator or a GE or a Centrex gas turbine to produce electricity, heating, or cooling. We recover real time all the fly ash and the biochar, which we bulk bag or wholesale and retail back to market. 100% of what came in the building is upcycled. That's how we generate our revenue and can offer to municipalities and business and industry a no capital cost model. It's a win-win-win. So I won't go through that, but basically our renewable natural gas, the biochar you've seen, and the fly ash from the jars here. So what type of waste can we process? Your kitchen garbage, your blue box, your old dock, your construction waste, passenger car tires, mattresses, e-waste, biosolids, hydraulic oil, engine oil, and all 7 grades of plastic. And a lot of people ask, well, do we have to keep separating everything? So for our instance, if we were looking at a purely MSW, take your aluminum, your tin, your alloys, and your glass, everything else can be in a clear bag. So you want simplicity at your landfills and your transfer stations, we can simplify that. This is an example of a mock-up facility that we're working on in Sudbury. So because we're an owner-operator model, if I start building a project on Manitoulin and Nairn Center, Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay, etc., we've identified 94 projects in the north. Our biggest foreseen growing pains is people. So right now, when you look at new graduates, well, how many of them know how to work a cell phone or play a video game? Most of them. So we're working with NORCAT, and we'll be working with certain trade schools to actually use a West facility as a training facility. So they would have a curtailed program. Then they come and do a 90 or 120 day placement because our technology doesn't change. The process doesn't change. The size of the facility does based on what we're solving. So now we'll actually be able to take recent graduates right out of school with no other work experience. They understand when they need to press the red button and when they don't. It's an electrically driven process in a controlled environment. We'll have a maintenance team that follows the projects, and it's a rinse and repeat. So if somebody graduates and they want to go back to Lake of the Woods or Liverpool, Nova Scotia, or they decide, you know what, mom's ill and I've got to go back to Nairn Center. Everything that they've done on one project is the same for the next project. So closed loop system. We've got 100% conversions efficiency, non-combustion base, controlled environment. It's electrically driven, and our renewable natural gas drives our energy. And on top of that, because of our background, we utilize our actual facility to install roof mount solar to offset our daily operations and consumption. So every project, every facility on a single shift produces more energy than we consume. And in Ontario right now, If you're following our energy markets, Ontario announced last year its largest call for new energy. 7,500 megawatts of electricity between now and 2050. And without that, we're gonna see rolling brownouts and power shortages. The hard part in Northern Ontario is when's the last time you saw a major power line upgrade? We have a hard time getting our normal upgrades in our distribution. With our facility and technology, because we're scalable, we're geared towards the municipalities, we can tie into the existing distribution network. So we can actually provide relief to our transmission network in the province. So the benefit to the communities, we match and follow the Ontario Power Purchase Agreement, which is typically or traditionally a 10 to a 20-year contract. So we offer a fixed cost per ton to the municipality or to private industry based on that waste characterization study. We create local jobs from waste that would have otherwise been landfilled, or a resource like the rest of Ontario, or 40% of it, we're shipping to our neighbors in the south. When we need energy, we want to create jobs and we need to create value. We can do all of that from our waste that is presenting challenges for municipalities today, and it's costly. Not to mention we created a dozen jobs in the Espanola area, and that's 12 new houses, that's 12 other families, the indirect and direct benefits. So to give you a snapshot, this is what we've identified just in Northern Ontario. As I said at the outset, Northern Ontario as a whole has less than 10% of its approved landfill capacity left. Just to look at these potential 94 projects based on the sheer volume that's being landfilled, we would need to create 1,000 new jobs in Northern Ontario just to divert that waste stream from being landfilled today. If Ontario loses the option to export our 40%, we have 10% of our landfill capacity left. If we're sending 7 million tons a year to the States, what do you think MECP is going to start doing? Who has available capacity in their landfills? They're going to start shipping waste. Because what else are they going to do with it? Toronto has had waste to energy combustion-based technologies operating for over a decade that are out of compliance, but they can't turn them off because nobody knows what to do with the 250 tons a day of garbage that exists. So my ask to council tonight, and I even hate to make an ask after the night you've had. We're looking to identify a project. We're looking at a few strategic areas in the Espanola and Marin area, very grassroots. But we know based on population density and our current waste that's being hauled, there's an opportunity for a project in this area. Whether it's the railroad ties, whether it's the municipal waste that's going to your landfills, whether it's the waste that's being hauled out of the communities, whether it's, the sawmill waste, legacy and production. We can take all of that and we can create additional jobs and put grid stability on the radar, and give us environmental certainty that, 20 years from now, there's not gonna be another room talking about the landfill that we're trying to expand. It's, 5 years from now, I see us actually recovering the landfills. I see landfills as a potential battery bank from waste. We're just not there today, where we need to address the problem at hand. We need to walk before we run, and that's diversion. We need to stop landfilling. So how do we do that? Start with 50%, 100% diversion from landfill. Let's turn it into value. So I just threw a lot at you guys in 12 minutes and you had a long night. Feel free to fire any questions.
Can you talk about no capital cost? What does that mean?
Zero. So we identify the site, we'll buy property, we'll lease property, we'll go through all of the permitting phases. We fund everything as an owner operator. Our only commitment or requirement from the municipality is a municipal support resolution, because we're selling energy. Under the OEB, they want to see communities supporting energy generation projects. So simple municipal resolution supporting the project in principle. We have a simple Schedule A that is basically outlines the business terms. I always joke, it's like when you go for a new cell phone plan. You don't negotiate the terms with Bell Canada because the finance department already set out the terms. You know what you're getting for a phone and what you're paying. Our Schedule A says we're going to take municipal solid waste and we produce so many tons per week or per month or per year. And that's the business terms. That allows us to say we've got 3 communities in this area committed in their waste, or a municipality and 3 businesses that give us our volume to go through the permitting and the financing stage. Once we have all of that, we come back and say, good news, this project is fully permitted, it's fully funded, we're ready to go. And here's the balance of the contract. But the business terms, the price, the volume, the type are pre-negotiated in that Schedule A. And that's what we take back to our lenders. So no capital cost to the municipalities
So there's no capital cost, but then there's like a monthly fee,
per
basically.
ton, based on the garbage. So if you looked at your waste disposal cost right now for your landfill, so all your overhead, what's your cost per cubic meter, cost per ton? When you look at the capital cost for that landfill and the reporting obligations, and then I'm not sure what your landfill life expectancy is, or when your last audit was, but that type of, what do you do at end of life? So most municipalities, you've got a landfill with a life expectancy of X, your closure plan is projected to be X, that far down the road. If we can divert 50% or 100%. That landfill closure plan just gets deferred, so you can leave that money earning interest and your same operating expense per ton. I haven't come across a municipality yet that we haven't been able to show savings. When you look at the average cost per municipality for unsorted waste in Ontario, the math works out to about $190 plus per ton. Most of our waste processing as a contracts right now, we're starting at 150. And you're saving on your operational expense immediately. And that does not account for any economic value that comes to the community from that project. That's purely just based on it.
So how do we get the economic value by the fact that you're employing people?
There would be additional value from that.
Yeah.
But right now, if your cost was 180 and it's been going up, if you look at your trending data, 3%, 5%, 10% per year. We are locking in our power purchase agreements. Our business model is based off the back end. So therefore, we're offering in a fixed contract price up front, locking that in for the life of the power purchase contract. So if the province buys my power for 20 years, I can give you a 20-year deal. If they buy it for 10 years, I can give you a 10-year deal. And to get to that point, you spend no money, sorry.
So you're looking at, unique property though.
We're looking at sites, as I said, we've looked at a few pieces of property in Espanola. We haven't met with the municipality of Espanola. As a developer by experience, I like to do good planning. So I do a lot of due diligence before I come into these situations. We've identified a few in Espanola. I know there's some commercial developments down the road here and other things in the area. There's opportunity, natural gas, three-phase power, water. Wouldn't be opposed to if there's a location in there and to exploring that as well.
Property in there, like kind of, we have an industrial area, but the property seems to be hard to come by.
Through you, Madam Chair, now that many of the North Shore municipalities have transitioned to full producer responsibility for recycling, how does that mess with your business model?
No, out of the gate, it's that we would work with you for everything else. Personally, I see producer responsibility. They've already done enough amendments, but it's gonna revert back to municipalities. No one's got a crystal ball in the next few years. But while it's in play, once the project is established, because we need that location, West would actually work with materials handling and become a pro. So the plastic waste that's being loaded in a bin and trucked to Sudbury and trucked to Toronto would actually just potentially stay here. But we can't do that till the facility's built.
How much land do you need?
Good question. Depends on the contracted volume, but we'd like to play in that 10 to 15 acre space. The reason being is our premise of our business model is based on weight. And I'm from Sudbury. I grew up on the island, but I live in Sudbury. One of my biggest pet peeves on a Saturday is you want to go utilize the waste services. You're anywhere from an hour to 3 hours by the time you get weighed in, get through and get out. And even the waste haulers right now are having challenges with it. So based on our project, we actually try to design, so we have an input scale and an output scale. So if we have a contract with the municipality, just like you might have a landfill card or tag now, we'd have a QR code. So if somebody not using a cell phone can scan that, and we'll also have a West app where if they're under the municipal contract based on their role, they scan that, they get weighed in, weighed out. Now you've got data, so you know what your population's bringing in, you know who's bringing it in. So if Bob's Tire Shop is bringing all his garbage under his residential rate, you're gonna know really quick. But that's typically what we look for. Doesn't make sense to try to reduce our impact on the environment and you've got 40 people burning gas in the lineup just to get into the dump that's gonna emit 8 times X in methane. So as part of our footprint, the other side is we want to grow, we need flexibility. So in the event that we started with a small project in the area and Interfor decides they don't want wood landfills and all their wood waste to leave, we can redirect that. So we mirror our facility and we can double production and then we can go from 1 shift to 2 shifts or 3 shifts. So finding a site that gives us that flexibility, a good project plan at the outset, plan for rainy days, you only ever know good days.
How many answers don't you have?
Yeah.
I've been at this, we were self-funded, you know, this is not my first startup. We've been in the telecom renewable energy, and it's the questions that aren't asked, the meetings that you don't take proactively to understand feedback that you have to solve for. And even developing the technology, waste to energy and energy from waste has been around since World War One. You know, you look at gasification, pyrolysis, it's all there. Combustion technologies that require catalysts are not efficient. And when you look at what we're trying to achieve today, I've got 2 young kids. I don't want what I grew up doing to be the same thing we're gonna be doing 20 years from now. We can't. So how do we solve for that? So we've designed a system that is not combustion based. We've designed a system that I can produce 5 times more energy than what I'm consuming to prepare the waste. We've looked at every attribute of that actual device, even manufacturing it. We'll be manufacturing and assembling that right here in the north, a training facility. I've had numerous people ask us, well, why aren't you just selling it? If I sold you a wheel loader right now, don't disrespect anybody, but there's maybe one person in the staff that knows how to own or operate and maintain that. So something always breaks and it's a cost. The municipalities don't have the budget and the manpower and the resources. Look what you're going through this evening. So we wanted to remove those barriers. How do we look at something where private industry can win, the municipalities can win, government can win? And this is where there's value in waste. And it doesn't matter what happens and all the geopolitical issues that are going on around the world right now. People need food, we create waste, and we need electricity. And it doesn't matter what we do, and despite best efforts, those are always gonna be there. So how do we solve for that? And that's that's the approach we've taken. Even our waste heat, when we get to certain size, and I'll let the cat out of the bag a little bit. All of our waste heat, when we get to a certain size of project, we also have another second phase behind this, where we have a same building that we designed for West under phase 1. Has no concrete, no wood in the structure. It's an R44 and it's 100% recyclable at end of life. So we capture all of our waste heat from phase 1, and then we start doing vertical greenhouses in phase 2. Now you're into food security.
What can we do for radioactive tailings?
I wish I had some wish for that right now.
Put all that stuff. out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even the plastic.
That's phase 3.
Yeah, yeah, we'll go to work. But I can put my laptop through our grinders and shredders and then put all that through our conversion, and we'll convert 100% of all the plastic, but all the gold, the silver, the palladium comes out in the biochar. So even the e-waste, all the critical minerals that we've ruined land trying to harness, we're actually recovering, and that can go right back to Sudbury to XPS into their smelting mines. All locally. We didn't have to haul it anywhere. So, sorry, any other questions? I can go on all night, but I don't want to keep you guys here.
Any questions, gentlemen? I think obviously there's a lot of answers here and this is very fascinating. The bad news for you is I think we do have a lot of life in our dump, but this is fascinating. And I think probably we need to, process it a little bit and ask more questions. And so you would probably appreciate if we reached out to local industry to see if this is something that they might be interested in.
Absolutely, you mean in terms of Narren industry?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I'd enter for, Ted Bell, I know like Frontier and the other developments in the area are up and coming as well, but absolutely. Whether it's municipal, even with your landfill having lots of life.
Yeah.
Just having a directive from council to staff to share some of your volume data, if we could consider that where we can offer some financial relief and it contributes to the project. The project's scalable, so once we get to a certain point of, we've got X amount of waste that we can turn into a renewable gas to drive the business model, it's a starting point, and then you're rolling your closure plan and operating costs. But it's a lot of information on an already long night, so I can fully appreciate that. But yeah, if there's anything else or even, requirement for a second meeting with council or staff, I'm in Sudbury, happy to do it. I'm literally by here probably 3-4 times a week.
yeah, I think we don't meet in August. September is usually a really crazy meeting. But yeah,
We could invite him to our business.
Yeah,
as
actually,
well. We have a business meet and greet, getting off the ground every quarter, so
Oh, perfect.
I think it could like set you up with some local business contacts as well.
That'd be amazing.
yeah,
Get that.
yeah, they would appreciate that, but this is a great presentation and really thought provoking and obviously super thorough. And yeah, lots of statistics, you know, I love numbers. Me too.
Well, thanks for having me. I'll get out of your hair and don't hesitate to reach out.
I think we're gonna have,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this, we have to process it.
yeah.
You go back and try to have the box. Boss up.
Perfect. And,
Congratulations.
yeah,
New
Belinda
position.
will,
Nice
did you
meeting
get one already?
I'm gonna get one.
Thank you.
Yeah, as long as.
It's nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it
And you
was-
got my info.
Discuss.
Yeah, do I? Oh, you originally gave it to Belinda.
There you go.
Thank you. Perfect. Really interesting presentation. Yeah, you're obviously thought about it a lot.
I'm local data. Sorry.
Okay, so no public meeting, discussions arising from previous council minutes, anything?
I don't have any.
Is this a time where we should be talking, did previous minutes include Agnew, oh, we have Hutchinson, so why don't we talk about it under
Yeah.
Hutchinson, just the meeting that just happened. Approval of council meeting,
So we don't have first or seconders on any of these motions, so.
Send them around to be signed.
I'm
Do
just.
you want to
doing-
do that right now or no? There's not a lot.
A move by Counselor McVeigh, seconded by Counselor Richter, if that's okay. Be it resolved that the following council minutes will be accepted as presented. A, regular council meeting minutes, June 2nd, 2025.
Thank
And
you.
B,
Thank you.
closed session meeting minutes, June 2nd, 2025. All in favor? That's carried.
Note the minutes and reports.
Seconded by, or I'll put Counselor McDonald and Counselor Austin. Moved by Counselor McDonald, seconded by Counselor Austin. Be it resolved that the minutes and reports, items 7A to F are noted as received. All in favor? It's carried. So the first step is Hutchinson. So first up is the Hutchinson Environmental Sciences. So actually. Moved by Counselor Richter and seconded by Counselor McVeigh. Be it resolved that council accepts the Hutchinson Environmental Sciences Agnew Lake Niobium Transport Risk Assessment Technical Review dated June 20th, 2025, or as presented. All in favor? So this is associated with the meeting that we just had. We were all here. Is it appropriate to talk about next steps at this? You know, I think if we wait till September, it's done. So some of the things that they mentioned were legal action, a protest. Reaching out to the OFAH and also the Georgian Bay Group. Did anyone see do you have any other ideas? Do you like those ideas? I think legal action, I think we need some research. We haven't discussed that all along. An injunction is what they were saying, but that's certainly not a term anyone has been throwing around all along.
There was another action that I think somebody asked for, and that was some kind of a blurb that they could use on an email to.
Yeah, like a catchphrase kind of. thing.
Yeah, a catchphrase or something that they could, I mean, they're just gonna create a response and mail it all out, but I think it's the volume that we're interested in.
They did ask for the presentation to go on the website so that then they could use some of that information in their letters.
Sure.
Um,
Through you, Madam Chair, I don't think it would be, it's no work of ours, it's unfortunately, it's work for CEO Ketchabah. To reach out to, hunters and anglers and to reach out to Jordan, I don't know why. I don't really understand why just George and Big Group. I understand through multiple conversations with, CEO Ketchabah that, you blasted everybody onto the planet in our area. Every Aboriginal community, every community you could find, anybody that had a municipal email address, you blasted. So that wasn't reiterated at the meeting to these people that picked one specific group
Yeah.
and said, well, why didn't you? I wanted to say, I think CEO Ketchabah has hit thousands, because your email strand was ridiculous, right?
It took me 3 days.
3 days to send, like,
it
she
down.
blasted everybody. So to say we missed one group by one person, you know, and I'm not
No,
disrespecting that
right.
person. But what they didn't know was how many people and how many communities you did blast.
So have we already reached that far, you would say? Or,
Like I didn't, like there's great ideas to hit the Cottagers Association. I have reached out. There was a lady here from the island that is a part of a cottager association that she took our, like my
Information.
initial email and sent it to everyone they know, but it's not a bad idea to try to reach those type of groups.
yeah, I think it is part of the strategy that this is happening in the summer. Right? That by the time we get the final information, we're all kind of, we're-
Vacation mode.
yeah, we're not really interested in going full-time for the next few weeks.
And I think the House isn't in session either. So you can't ask public questions of the minister.
I mean, we saw what happened with Minister George Perry previously, like he just, it was a slam dunk that this wasn't an issue for him at all. So it is a little disconcerting.
If you Google that House of Commons, it's ridiculous, his response and his mannerisms to the way he read it, I guess is the wrong way, like he just,
Yeah,
it was,
it was very insulting.
you handed me a sheet and I read this and consultation was done in every community and we did it here.
It's a policy spin.
And sit down and Mike Mantha was standing there going, but that's not, I'm not getting up again, I discussed it already. We're done with it. You know, so. But I think if he gets blasted by lots of community members and lots of people, maybe then, I don't know. Can't hurt, I guess, to.
I'm hoping we have more luck being under the conservative wing now. That our representative can talk to the minister. More than an opposition party can.
Maybe, Mr. Rosenberg seems new to he is new to the issue. He was here to listen tonight. We had, Belinda and I had previously met with him and kind of gave him the update. Maybe he's wondering what he can do, right?
Well, he had mentioned that he notified the minister that he was coming to this meeting. And that he was gonna report after the meeting as to the interests of the people. So hopefully it brings some interest up.
Yeah, well, we do have the party that's in power
Yeah,
here, so maybe that has some
hoping it
validity.
helps.
So of the protest or the legal action or reaching out to George and Bay, what do you think is the most effective and where you wanna start? Yeah,
No, legal action is gonna cost money And as a small municipality, just going through the budget, just looking at the new. I'm gonna give this number incorrect, 2% increase from what we've got to add on to our municipal budgets next year for our infrastructure and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, asset management.
Asset management, it's gonna be awful hard to find extra cash to hire a lawyer. And asking neighboring municipalities to help do it, I get it, you know what I mean, but at the same time, everybody's under the same gun, I don't know, no lawyer works cheap. How about that?
Yeah, a class action suit was mentioned. I don't know, but what I understand of class action suits are where someone has been wronged. And you've all been wronged in the same way. You all bought the same car where the brakes failed. And so you gather together and you take that company. You've all had a similar problem. Well, you could argue that how have we been wronged? How, maybe I'm, yeah. Maybe I'm misunderstanding this. Yeah,
Or that there is irreparable harm to us somehow, and it's like the government's answer is, there isn't gonna be any. So I don't know if we've got a legal leg to stand on.
it did sound like, France, Chalinas was gonna look into that for us and I don't know.
Our issue is, this is gonna start moving in August. August isn't that far away.
No,
What we're gonna do or what we wanna do, we have to do quickly. And I don't know what we can afford to do or what the costs of, and again, I'm just picking on a lawyer and I'm not picking on a lawyer. They don't work for free. And they're not gonna work for free for a municipality.
so what doesn't cost anything is if we get everybody to write letters. And sort of sign a petition or something.
We have done a
We've done the
petition.
petition, yeah.
The
We
petition.
had neighboring communities, everybody got involved.
Get there till,
Yeah, it's gotta go to the house to be read. If they're not,
Well, then it's letter writing.
yeah,
We could have a protest, especially if we had First Nations support.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to them to see if they'll provide another formal letter of their stand, but they've
that's
always.
probably the most powerful thing we can get is a formal letter from UCCM.
But I mean,
Because
the
they've
protest,
got all the power.
the protest doesn't do much, almost like it makes sense if the trucks are rolling and then you're protesting. If you're protesting beforehand, do we? I don't, are you just meeting out here on the,
Pre-protest?
Yeah. I mean,
Once they're rolling, I don't think you're gonna, we have, we've been
No.
fighting to try and stop getting to that process. Once they get
yeah,
rolling, it's gonna be. The fight is even harder. I think we are sort of like one of the ladies that said she was gonna be writing a letter and CCing CEO. We need everybody to write letters, I think, to bombard one person or two people. Stephen Litching. Yeah, but I don't know how we even get that. It's above my pay grade to know how to get that message out.
A
Yeah.
notice on the website to say,
Yeah,
CEO
Yeah,
Ketchiba.
sorry, I was just about to say that. Why don't we do a public statement? And a motion is free.
yes,
It could just be that we have finally decided we don't want to move forward with this at all, no matter what. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but that could be one stand
I'm
and,
sure that's.
and
what
to
you're
keep
saying.
sending it where it's going. Where it's going to the Clean Harbors, like, why can't we just say that? I mean, are they gonna listen? If enough municipalities support it, they might.
Enough people write in. That's in our budget.
Yeah.
Freeze in the budget,
Public statement.
public statement stating to share the public statement with the mining, like, because they, we're gonna say a public statement, but then we want people to go to him and.
Yeah, we say we do not want this, and we encourage all residents to reach out to
Right.
so-and-so and express their concerns, and their feelings about the niobium tailings issue. Um,
And the unresolved research.
yes. I mean, we have already sent letters to the Ministry of Mines and like, did it go all the way up to Premier Fort? But saying,
Initially, yes.
yeah, saying that we want these missing studies and we wanted them by July 14th.
Yeah, so I did get a reply at 4:03 PM today stating that they need more time.
Yeah, I think I think the stall is a definite tactic, you know? Cause once, I like the idea of a public statement. I also like the idea of a protest, because this is almost fought in the media, right? That,
Well, the other thought was, Mayor Gorham from Baldwin had stated, at one of the prior meetings about a billboard coming into either end of the community or either end of the extended community, coming off the 4 lanes and maybe coming at 6 and 17 at Baldwin saying, hey, we don't want your niobium or your, you know, your heavy metals, so that there's a billboard so people can say, oh, yeah. Cause we really aren't people's faces with it. We're trying our best. I think all the communities are trying to let people know, but I don't know how expensive a billboard is for a month or for,
I don't think it's cheap.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
of, you're asking for ideas. I'm just trying to think. of-
No, it's a good idea.
Puts things in front of people's faces.
Put it up for a month either, I think you'd sign it.
I think it's a 5-year contract
Five
right now.
or a year.
That's, we just did one for La Foche, sign,
But
but maybe there's other options.
yeah, cause I thought, the mayor of Baldwin had a
He
billboard
has.
that he said that he would donate or be able to assist, cause he has a billboard.
Okay, that's
Name already.
exciting.
Yeah.
Something to that
So
effect.
just
Yeah,
be
you
the
guys would
cost
have
of
to check out,
producing it.
you'd have to check out with exactly what it would cost and what it would. Cause I sort of wondered about that myself, why we don't. The surrounding neighbor, like everybody go, hey, listen, we gotta get this out, so people even traveling through go, oh yeah, that's that stuff from West Nipissing. And they're from North Bay,
Yeah.
and they go, yeah, well, we don't want it near our camp either, that is on the Manitoulin Island or, you know, it just wakes people up a little bit.
Maybe try with some of the local people that have billboards to,
Yeah,
that rent them out.
Yeah,
Have local businesses that do that.
okay. Sounds like you have names. That's
I
excellent.
won't mention names.
yeah,
No, we're not mentioning them now.
I was like, she just asked what?
No.
But it would probably, you might get a short-term rental with a local
Yeah.
business rather than the bigger companies.
So
Okay.
I think we already have a
I
motion.
do have one semi,
Glitch. Oh, like, are we clarifying that one paragraph?
yeah, I think we don't want to say that we just want time to get these studies. I think we just want to say,
We don't want.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is everyone agreed with that? We're just saying in the motion that we just do not want it. We're
Yes.
not saying, oh, get us the 8 missing studies and we'll look at it. We're really,
No.
yeah,
We have to, we have
I
to.
don't
put
know
a-
how this works, but we get all sorts of letters from support. Why wouldn't we be doing the local communities?
We did that already.
Did we do it?
Yeah.
But now send this out.
yeah, that's a great, that is it hard
sorry.
to send this motion out to all communities
No,
again?
we already have an email group. It'll just go to every single municipal.
So do you think, would you advise that we send this to everyone again? Okay,
That's what I thought we were doing.
Yeah, so we don't want to mention the studies and the data gaps. We don't know. It's just a hard.
Yeah.
no?
It's a hard no.
Okay,
We have to come to a spot where we have to say hard no.
yeah,
Being nice isn't really playing very well.
No,
I mean, the
Well,
people
and it's
want
like-
us to do that.
Yeah.
Say no.
okay.
the
Period.
study so far said, as far as I could read, that there might be some additional risk. And why would we want to take on any additional risk in any case? So hard, no.
Okay, do you want me to read kind of what I have prepared? I got a lot of X's on
X's.
it, but, so, whereas the Ministry of Energy and Mines and the Ministry of Transportation has proposed the transportation and placement of approximately 18,600 cubic meters of niobium mine tailings from the Nova Bocage mine and associated MTO gravel pit to the Agnew Lake Tailings Management Area located within the township of Narren and Hyman. And whereas the ministry has submitted technical documentation, including a human health and ecological risk assessment and conceptual site model, which has been independently reviewed by Hutchinson Environmental Sciences on behalf of the township. And whereas Hutchinson Environmental Scientists Limited report raises serious concerns regarding the adequacy of the risk modeling, leachability assessments, hydrogeological characterization, and biological monitoring and long-term containment of radionuclides and toxic metals. And whereas the township has recently learned that the Ministry of Transportation intends to transport an existing stockpile of niobium tailings to Clean Harbors facility, a licensed hazardous waste treatment facility near Sarnia, Ontario, raising the question as to why all the niobium tailings are not being managed in the same manner. Now therefore be it resolved that the council of the township of Narren and Hyman formally opposes the transportation or placement of niobium tailings at the Agnew Lake Tailings Management Area. And further, this resolution be forwarded to the Honorable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honorable Stephen Lecce, the Minister of Energy and Mines, the Honorable Praveet Singh Sakara, the Minister of Transportation, and the Honorable Todd McCarthy, Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, the Ontario Ombudsman, the Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission, MP Jim Belanger, MPP Bill Rosenberg, and the Association of Ontario Municipalities and all Ontario municipalities.
Anything else?
So just need a first and second, or
Is Ross included in that?
I can add, definitely add her.
False. Okay, can we just vote on it or do I need to read? Okay, all in favor?
Just need a first and second.
Okay, who would like to first that? Well, I like your speediness. Anyone else? Yeah. Firsted by Counselor Austin and second by Counselor Richter, and it was carried. That was a big motion.
So I can do a media statement, to go along with that and put that out to all media outlets and place it on our website as well.
So the media is also looking for what we're going to do next. So other than the motion, we've got a protest, legal action. I think putting the presentation online is pretty straightforward. Billboard, reaching out to the Georgian Bay or the OFAH, which really probably isn't that difficult, is it?
Oh, no, not at all.
So
And encouraging letter writing.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I can put that as part of this media statement.
yeah,
I encourage everyone to contact the minister, not the MPPs.
Yeah,
so we do the letter writing, we have the presentation online. Do we ask our CAO to look into, options with the billboard? It sounds like some people might have some information of local people that might have access.
I think that might need a further meeting, like. Unless like who's designing the word, what is it gonna say?
So then we have, yeah, it does sound like we might need an emergency meeting if they really are, August 15th.
No to Namibium.
Yeah.
What does it need to say?
Nobium,
yeah.
no to, nobi,
Yeah.
No to.
niobium, niobium, that's, I was like, why is that so weird? No to niobium,
That's not bad.
yeah,
Hashtag it.
Yeah, hashtag. I don't know, or I can just reach out if if you wanna do a motion, I can just reach out to neighboring municipalities, see who wants to move on it quick.
move on the
Billboard.
billboard. Yeah, I think it would be smart to, okay,
But we do need a budget, cause you can't make billboards for free.
no. Well, like, we have no idea how much they even cost.
When's our next lacrosse meeting? September?
It must be
September?
late September.
Cause it would be good to have that motion, like just to bring that to lacrosse, but it might be too late by then.
Yeah, I think it will be. So we encourage the letter writing. Do we want to leave it open-ended that we can possibly organize a protest? No, we're not excited about the protest idea. It's free. People either come or they don't.
Where do you go to vote?
I am not.
Minister's office is what the place you protest.
But he's not there, he's on holiday.
Yeah, they're on holidays till what, the end of September or October?
Yeah,
If you go up the Agnew Lake Road, there ain't gonna be much people there watching you.
Just bears.
You know, you could be right on the highway, like, we have a lot of traffic on that highway. And
Yeah.
that would be
Go
a
to the
lot,
Busy Bee.
lot of
No one would
publicity,
care if you're in the Busy Bee parking lot.
yeah.
you know, and you just put up signs and roast hot dogs for the evening and, no, I didn't say that. You know, we know it's busy on a Friday afternoon or people, it's hard to turn there. That might be the place, like, if there's no trucks to stop and there's no politicians in their offices, that's where we're gonna get traffic. So we're gonna, and the media will be there. If we
And
plan something, the media will support it. I know this probably isn't in your wheelhouse, but
can we pass a motion to say that we've got the option to call it?
yes,
Well, why don't we do
Yeah.
that?
yeah. So if we do letter writing, the possibility
And so much work.
of a protest,
Yeah.
a billboard,
We'll get Belinda the total all our hours after this is done.
no. No.
Yeah, you don't wanna know, you don't wanna know.
How many gray hairs? Okay, sorry, that council is directing staff to plan
To-
this stuff or what?
To look into, to look into the possibility and the cost of a billboard.
I can do that for you tomorrow morning. before
Excellent.
Our meeting, I'll have that done for you.
Okay.
I'll leave it.
So that's the billboard, to reach out to Georgian Bay communities and the OFAH.
That,
You can,
I can do it.
You can
Your
too,
idea,
Council.
the guy you think, and that guy, same guy I think,
that's what all.
yeah, there we go.
Create a billboard.
It's okay
And-
with me, Trevor.
Thanks.
Look into a protest.
Or just, have the the possibility of scheduling a protest in the near future or
Okay.
this summer.
You know, staff in our contract, we're not supposed to do illegal things, right?
Is that illegal?
I'm just okay.
We can't expect you to attend.
I'm just, it's a joke, bad joke.
Free
Um,
hot dogs.
Perfect.
do we have Georgian Bay and the OFHA? And then to look into legal action or, you know, to start looking into the possibility of legal action. Have we covered everything?
I'm sorry, what was that one?
OFAH.
There's OFAH.
Okay. Create a hashtag, no Niobium.
Yeah, no Niobium.
Okay,
Did we get letter writing?
and encourage. Letter writing.
Did we look into possible legal action?
Is there a
Well,
budget for that?
I think we need information on the legal action, like
Okay.
there's only gonna be so many environmental lawyers. There might
Yeah.
not even be one in Sudbury.
I did follow up with our legal counsel about that bylaw to stop, chucking of hazardous waste
Yeah,
in our region. I don't know where that went actually. I know the students in the legal firm are working on it.
okay, so we've got letter writing, the possibility of a protest, looking into legal action. The potential billboard and
Mhm.
Baldwin, oh, we want a budget. Oh,
Do it, yeah, like I probably need a budget.
For the billboard or for the lawyer? For
Well,
both.
I say no for the lawyer, cause,
at least the billboard,
yeah,
cause I can't move without a budget.
But we'll know that tomorrow, and we have a meeting tomorrow. Do we not? You know what I mean?
we do.
Yeah, but it's not on the agenda.
Okay, cause I'll have numbers for you tomorrow, but I can't do it, I can't.
Okay.
I don't know if it's 400 a month, or if it's 500 a month for a billboard, I don't know what it would be.
I have no idea if that's.
Like, and
what-
I'm just throwing those numbers, cause I
I
don't know if
think-
that's,
Plus,
that's an unrealistic
You
number.
gotta pay for the sign. to
The
start.
sign to
Yeah, yeah.
pay.
No,
Okay,
that-
so what is it worth to us? Cause by September, we're kinda done, right? Like, so this is
we
only.
own two signs after September. One way or the other, we own two signs.
So is it worth, 3,000, 5,000?
You'll be, the ones I get done at work, they're $500 a sign to get them made, and they're just mass produced in the same. So if somebody, and we make them simple still, it's still gonna be
It would be a
$500
couple
for him to do
thousand.
it, and $500 for him to, for the month, you're gonna be $1,000 or a couple $1,000. Just an FYI, in my own
Yeah.
mind, without even,
So if we approve for
And by
3,000,
the time it's done, it's gonna be too late.
well, that's one of
That
the
is
questions
one of
we
the-
have to
Yeah.
ask with the lawyer and with the sign guy is, can you have them done in a week?
yeah,
Cause if you can't, it's a waste of time. We're only 2 weeks from August, and nobody knows when in August they're gonna try and ship it.
and they could just easily delay it. Like they could say, oh, we haven't approved the water system, or,
Yeah, we
And-
might
and-
have longer, cause CNSC has not approved the license.
so you can see how if they did just delay, we've got a lot of momentum and excitement now. But if all of a sudden they start bringing it in October, we have to alert everyone. Everyone has to get upset about it again
Yeah,
and motivated.
I still wonder why they took out the bridge. They don't know, nobody seems to.
Took out the
Out the
bridge
The
back,
bridge they had on
Yeah.
the road, yeah,
well, didn't they replace it?
no,
No, it's slated to be replaced in 2026. So I'm wondering, is there even a possibility of them tracking it in before that bridge is replaced?
well, they had that bridge sitting there over the culvert.
Yeah.
The culverts were.
They're
the bridge is
destroyed,
gone.
yeah.
but they put the culverts in?
No, the culverts are still there.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever half the culverts are there,
Oh, yeah.
bottom half is missing.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So we do potentially have time.
Okay, so we've covered Georgian Bay, OFAH, billboard, letter writing, a possible protest, and looking into legal action.
Yeah.
That's lots. That's getting lots done.
Yep.
Don't worry, I can
And
do
hiring
this
another
protest.
staff,
Two more staff.
Yeah.
more staff.
Yeah.
Still want billboard budget?
Yes, let's say $3,000. Look, we have 60,000 every year that we do not spend. I'm not saying it's a great idea to spend it, but
I think a big sign saying no would be,
Belinda's gonna be fiscally responsible, and if it's,
yes.
if it can't be ready till August 12th, that's not gonna help us much.
No. I will have answers for you tomorrow.
Okay.
Linda.
Okay,
Excellent.
so you're approving a $3,000 budget?
Yes.
That's what it's gonna cost that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we're getting lots done. I know you're tired.
So It's kind of all over the place.
Who would like to move it? Oh, I like the excitement. And second it?
I thought Rod was gonna jump up for a
Uh,
minute.
He was thinking about
Thinking
it.
of it.
I know it. Moved by Counselor McVeigh, seconded by Counselor Richter. Be it resolved that council is directing staff to get costs to create a billboard and the possibility of planning a protest, contact Georgian Bay Cottagers Associations and contact the OFAH and encourage letter writing and look into possible legal action. And council approves the $3,000 budget. All in favor?
Are you going on holiday short?
Yes,
Carried.
yes, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get all this done.
Well, we're all gonna pull together and we're gonna do what we can.
Before we leave this part of it, I want to, say on behalf of myself and probably the rest of council, thanks for all the work you put in it tonight. It was absolutely ridiculous for what you guys had to, probably do. And, thank you very much. I know outlying communities, everybody I spoke to understood or kind of got a feeling, and I kept saying, I don't think we do know how much work went into that, went into tonight. And even when questions were excellent and some questions were off base or some questions were
You did a great job.
whatever, you did a great job of holding everything on track as best you could. But overall, the meeting was excellent and well done to the two of yous and to Holly and to everybody.
Thank you.
All the municipalities that helped us, or helped yous, it was excellent. Very well done.
Thanks.
Thanks, yep, and it was definitely a group effort.
Approved by y'all?
I would say, I think we all can feel this, that it's not always an easy job to work in a municipality. But it's really nice when you feel like you have an objective and you're really working on something that maybe it does benefit you, but it also benefits a lot of other people. And I guess that's probably why all of us are here, right? Anyway, sorry I got sappy. I'm obviously tired.
Yep, next.
Yeah. Oh, next we have the CAO's report on radar speed signs on Highway 17.
Yeah. Wah, wah.
Do you want to speak to that?
Sure, through you, Madam Chair. I don't have good news, as you all read my report. The MTO has gotten very strict with their crash test requirements of speed signs. They no longer allow speed signs to be installed permanently on the side of Highway 17. They do have a temporary program where you're allowed to install it for 2 to 3 weeks. However, our signs do not qualify for those standards. We have signed ourselves up to, participate in their mobile sign program where they let us use, one of their big signs
What's
that
the
fit.
OPP one too?
I can't speak to the OPP if it's the same, but you've seen them, they're kind of big and orange
Yeah.
and they do the same thing, but they're big. So they have said they've added us to the list. Unfortunately, there's a lot of municipalities in front of us and only so many of those signs, but we're definitely on the list. So I'm hoping next summer we'll hopefully get to use it for a bit. But I would like to know what council thinks we could do with the sign that we have. We are receiving complaints about speeding on Old Narren Road. The only problem with Old Narren Road is there's nobody that lives on it, so you are increasing your risk of the sign being vandalized or stolen. But, the police have been really good at, watching it over the last couple weeks, that section of road. But, we all know that goes in cycles, so.
Where's another road that you're getting complaints of speed?
Like McIntyre, but that's also an MTO road, so I don't know, like I can make an inquiry if we can put it on this road since it's not.
It's still classified as a highway.
It still is, yes.
What about McDonald Street with all the new repairs and it's so nice and pretty and
That's a good point.
I don't know, when I roll down through there every now and then, I kind of catch myself,
I know, I caught you, sweet.
yeah, yeah. It's an aggressive 50.
Yeah, that's a good, road. I
Well,
get that one for
I don't
sure.
know. I don't know what anybody's complaining about, other than Counselor Austin, like constantly complaining about our street.
I have heard complaints from McIntyre, probably because there's some children that are along there.
Yeah.
And so people are coming,
When they're coming into town.
yeah, it's not leaving.
Not
McDonald?
leaving.
McIntyre, like just right down here.
All right down here. Okay.
Yeah, so you know how there's just a few houses and they're just bombing in a little bit and.
That's the highway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I have
Yeah.
a feeling they're gonna say the
They know
same thing.
Have we
but-
got a second sign?
Yes, it's in the municipal garage right now.
Okay,
Just couldn't put it up where we wanted to.
no, well, we can put that one up on McDonald Street,
Yeah,
and I would suggest that. We put the other one back on Minto, but put it,
It's still there. We haven't taken it off.
no, but
Oh.
put it up on the opposite side of the road,
Okay,
so facing down to.
yeah,
It seems that. Once people get started down the road, they pick up speed as they're going.
okay.
Cause that's just the cost of a 6x6 or a 4x4
Yep.
technically.
Yeah,
And our.
just
superintendent-
reprogramming a little bit
And our
too. That's okay.
superintendent's time.
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
no
But
problem.
no, but you could put. Okay. So.
so
McDonald
are
Street
we,
then?
so we're saying Minto and McDonald?
So changing, is there a location that you want us to identify or just
I
kind of,
would, well, I can't say names, how about,
Before the,
how about you can,
before the chicane,
somewhere along by the rock cut there,
by the what?
by the rock cut,
on McDonald's?
Yeah.
where they're on
Okay.
Minto Street,
Oh, on Minto.
yeah.
Yeah, I am really, I would really be, just because I've had, it was one specific person, McIntyre, that anyway, it was really persistent about a year ago.
Mhm.
But that again is that's in the
Yeah.
highway again, so we have
Yeah.
to go back to them to do that.
Yeah, I wonder if
No.
we leave Minto where it is for now and see
Well,
what
it's no
MT,
big job to move it, I mean,
yeah.
Post,
yeah,
Yeah, and honestly, I think after a few weeks, people almost get used to it anyway. So if we could look into McIntyre, but
not letting it go, right? You just keep saying yeah, and then go back to the same thing.
you know
Not
what?
Listening to the other four of us at all.
Well, when
just saying,
a person
just saying.
specifically calls and says there's an
That you
issue,
have an answer for that person. Now the MTO won't allow us because it's considered a highway.
I
They-
don't
they're-
think that you're gonna see the McIntyre the same as Highway 17. But if we move, that you do the signs.
King's Highway is the King's Highway, I guess.
If you move the signs and do whatever you want for now, and we look into what they're gonna say about McIntyre, and it doesn't need to be this week or next,
just another letter.
yeah,
Just before you go on holidays.
Yeah.
no.
It says, Mayor made the decision, you got time to chase that.
Hmm. That's okay, we don't,
You need an answer, right? You
Uh,
want that?
something, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think we could vote on it with 4 councilors said in McDonald Street.
yeah, let's move it to McDonald and westbound on Winton.
We could always in the
Where we
future.
looking, near the township property?
On McDonald,
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
That little corner lot?
Well, are we
that would
in
be,
that area or where are we?
I'm not sure if speeding's an issue in there, but it would
It
certainly,
is on McDonald Street.
yeah, so
Oh,
on,
yeah, I get.
on the municipally owned property on McDonald Street? Okay,
Cause it was either that or up further before before Councilor McDonald's house, find that stretch just before you round the
Yeah.
corner.
Which way, which direction? we-
I'm coming off the highway at 120,
Yeah, that
going
makes
down the
sense.
road
Yeah,
still,
okay,
posting at
Yeah.
590.
Yeah,
for the westbound traffic.
They come over that hill.
yeah,
Councilor Richter says aggressive 50. But it's a silver GMC, a Chev.
so westbound,
For the westbound
Yes.
traffic.
yeah, you're coming off the highway.
okay,
Yeah, you're heading west.
but I can't put it on the municipally owned property.
No, when
if
there's,
it's
well,
there.
it's on Township Road.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I thought we were actually talking
No,
about
no,
that.
no, I just
triangle
was
property.
given a general location.
Okay. So, okay,
a long meeting. We're all dragging this out. We apologize for all our confusion.
Yes. The other one I.
You notice how quiet I've been.
Yeah.
I know.
You
That's
can-
your bedtime, eh?
Yeah,
Like,
we
I
just
don't wanna
have,
talk to the tiger commissioner no more.
Yeah, so I did.
you're
And
done
I'd
with
say,
it.
what
We're
are
done
we,
with them.
what are we looking at, 50 yards? East of the new culvert?
Oh, so are we switching,
Gotta move the
Minto?
other one too, yeah, well, that,
Yeah,
Okay.
and switch Minto
To the westbound.
sign to westbound.
So across the street in the driveway of Counselor Austin's second driveway.
And are we going to,
No.
the other one.
you can outvote me, but are we going to ask, CAO Ketchabah to look into McIntyre? Yes or no?
Sure. In her spare time.
Yeah. And
Definitely
look
looking for a bit.
into MTO permission for McIntyre.
It'll be really quick. It'll be hard no in about 2
You had to put that all
Are
in
you
one.
really think it's hard no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they opposed our stop sign on Gay Lane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
Don't we
just
have
thought-
it in?
no,
I just put it up anyway.
yeah, but they opposed it,
they didn't want
but we,
I thought they said it was a good idea.
no.
it. We said it was.
She told you it was a good idea, so then you followed suit. Your worship.
I know, you guys are into something
Anyway,
today.
it's still there. They didn't make me take it down.
Who would like to move
Well,
this?
what is the, I'd like to really hear it.
Be it resolved that council directs staff to install the speed sign on the westbound side of McDonald Street and switch the Minto sign to westbound and look into MTO permission for McIntyre.
Can we just have our CAO just tell them approximately where we want?
How about you guys can show me?
Okay.
There you
Who would like to move that?
go. We hit
Then
Counselor,
I'll second.
there you go.
I like that enthusiasm. Okay, firsted by Counselor McVeigh, second by Counselor Austin. Whereas council has received the CAO's report 2025-25 entitled Radar Speed Signs on Highway 17 MTO Response and Alternatives for Information. And be it resolved that council directs staff to install the speed sign on the westbound side of McDonald Street and switch Minto sign to westbound and look into MTO permission for McIntyre. All in favor? You know, we covered a lot there too, so if MTO says no to McIntyre, what can you do? I can't believe everyone else has a speed sign on Highway 17
You missed
and
the
we
window.
did not. Yeah,
And reductions in speeds through town.
yeah, yeah.
Well, MTO just loves us right now, so they're just looking to say no to everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just noticed though, this weekend that, Township of Nemi is using the OPP one. Like, I was there, I went to town like 4 times.
Yeah,
And they used it in 4 different sections and like 4 or 5 different roads, so that's our same.
okay, so next is the municipal superintendent's report, which was primarily about sidewalks, where he really recommended. Now, I didn't have a lot of time today, and I'm going to, so your bottom left-hand corner, this really nice sidewalk is on Front Street in front of a very well-maintained house. So this sidewalk
That's unfair,
has always been well-maintained, and we don't need to do a thing to it, so that's awesome.
that,
And then if you go up here, this is further down Front Street. So you can see there is asphalt, it is covered, it did, like, when you can kind of see more in person. It doesn't look ridiculous to me. These two pictures, so right in the bottom right and upper left. Those two are on McIntyre Street, so those aren't our sidewalks. I am not recommending that we take care of all sidewalks immediately. And our superintendent has suggested we not do it. But I've spent a lot of time on these sidewalks and they do not look like they are a huge amount of work. I did see one tree along McIntyre that would not be easily moved, like it was roots over the. But the issue with McIntyre is that is not our road, and I don't know if they will even fix those sidewalks or allow us to fix them. They do look like the town has originally put them in.
I
would
believe
say.
so also. I can remember doing something with sidewalk.
Yeah, so I don't know what you think, I would just, for myself, what I've said before is, I just think it's a resource that we have in the town, it'd be nice to take care of it, we don't need to spend, we don't need to do a lot of it, we don't need to spend a lot of money on it, but that we just, whittle away at it, is what I'm thinking, so maybe one of our directions is that we ask our CAO to start the conversation with the MTO about the sidewalks. I don't know. So it depends what you think.
I would, if I may, suggest that it's. You old saying, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to beg for assistance.
Easier to ask for forgiveness than,
I figured
permission.
There are sidewalks, let's fix them. I don't think we should be going to MTO or anything, let's just fix them, nobody's gonna say anything. We're fixing them.
Well, and to be honest, the sidewalks on McIntyre aren't in bad shape. It's almost like you would need to clear branches above.
But there's some days you gotta clear them. That's on Smith Street. Same thing, clear the stuff, clear it, do it. It's been done before, it's not the first time. Years back, they went through that and cleaned all the sidewalks and everything. They never got permission from MTO. They
So
took
is-
out the sidewalks on the east side of Smith Street. And not a word was said. There used to be sidewalks there that were dug out.
Why would they dig them out?
The landowner didn't want them. That had the property there.
So, any other opinions?
Wasn't there a plan to have summer students attack them occasionally?
Well, if
Have no summer students?
We went to our superintendent and
they
then
have time work at, them, well,
our superintendent did not feel that this would be a summer student job. That's why I took the pictures,
Yeah.
because to me, it didn't, it looks overgrown. Well, and then when you see the perfect one, that's,
That's
unfair,
unfair,
though.
that guy has taken care of that sidewalk,
oh, he has,
like, drop a Kleenex on it, he will be able to pick it up.
he
Done a
has.
Beautiful job of keeping that,
yeah.
loving that sidewalk. And
If you go down further and
He's
it's
a
there.
poodle, everybody was like that.
He needs the badge.
Yeah.
And also I just even noticed at the corners, it's sand. Because sand is spread on the corners and the snow, and well, sand isn't really horrible to remove. Maybe it's heavy.
I think we should. Just as a standard, work at it when we can.
Yeah.
And
CAO
continue working
Ketchifa?
As part of our public works.
What
But I
would you
thought we
like?
voted this down already at the last, cause of budget or something, cause it could cost 1,000 or it could cost
Well, we voted.
X number of dollars, so we didn't wanna touch it. Cause there was gonna be I truly believe there was a motion to just leave it.
The
but-
motion was to go to our town supervisor to ask his opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, respectfully through you, Madam Chair, I think it's a great idea to work at it. It beautifies our community and it extends the life of our infrastructure. I do have some concerns about some of the conditions. Maybe we can start working on the better ones.
Yes,
And then move forward next year with a budget and a plan to fix some of the really rough ones, because if the superintendent is saying he doesn't have the knowledge to fix them properly and he has concerns with risk, then maybe our new superintendent that we hire next year will have the knowledge. But I respectfully agree with your opinion. and we can start working on the ones that are in better shape.
It doesn't all, it doesn't even all need to be done in 3 years, right? It's just something that you just do a little bit at a time.
We're not asking to rebuild the sidewalks, like you look at this one picture, dig the dirt off the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
yeah, and
That's
those
not
are the
a-
ones we'd
That's
start
not a
with.
technical issue.
For sure.
But again, you look at that, now if some of our citizens get hurt on that, who's gonna be responsible? Because it's not proper.
I'm worried about what we're gonna find when we start digging them up, but we can always come back to you and say we need a budget to fix
Yeah.
a certain sidewalk.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think it needs
Right.
fixing.
Going to try.
so the motion would read that council directs public works staff to start clearing
Yeah,
dirt and
do
vegetation.
maintenance on
Yeah,
the sidewalks and Repair.
And start with the best.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Yeah,
we should be starting with the worst.
well, it cost us the most.
like and due respect to the municipal superintendent, he took me out and showed me some areas where the
Well, I know where-
the concrete has heaved.
Where you got broken sidewalks
Yeah.
and stuff, no, we don't want them to fix them.
So that was his issues. He's like, well, if I have to fix them, they have to be fixed properly. So, but I think we can just go out, come up with a plan,
Dig the dirt. and
start
brush
working on one of the ones that just
the
needs
sides.
dirt and brush removal.
Yeah, we
Start
started
to make
and,
them usable.
yeah,
If you look at Smith Street, that's terrible
yeah,
down there.
yeah.
That's the main street where the old post office.
I mean, literally every time I
Yeah.
walk on it, I just wanna bring my shovel and come late at night and dig them out.
Like I know if you look at Smith
So
Street,
you want them to start on Smith Street?
no, I
even though
don't care
that's-
where he starts.
Yeah, yeah.
He
We
can
just
fix-
wanna see, yeah, just clean up some
Smith would
sidewalks.
be a good location to start because it's the most viewed. in the-
Well, it'd be the most visible when people see it.
But it
Down,
might-
They would be,
It might be buried
Most,
quite a bit.
It might be a
Try
good
to-
time to have this.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe adopt a sidewalk.
Adopt a sidewalk, I like it.
You have to make the billboard.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you can go back into history, but if you look at the end of that sidewalk next to the highway, I know the town put that culvert so you can get over the road. So
Yeah, and I think there's a bit of work coming up on Smith Street and McIntyre. So it looks like they're looking at totally redoing it, and they were looking for the town's support, which I was just gonna write a letter that we would of course support that, so we
MPO
could.
wants us to support them.
Mhm.
Let's give them a list.
So, I mean,
Niobium,
Yeah.
hashtag,
Speed sign.
speed sign, yeah.
okay. So directs Public Works to start cleaning sidewalks and vegetation around sidewalks. Do you want it to say anything else?
Cleaning up, not repairing. Cleaning up. the-
Cleaning, yeah. And then we'll start,
Remove
Yeah.
the overburden or whatever it is on
Who would like to move?
it.
Counselor Austin, Counselor McDonald,
I'll-
all right. Moved by Counselor Austin, second by Counselor McDonald, be it resolved that council accepts the municipal superintendent's report to council dated July 4, 2025, as presented. And further that council directs Public Works to start cleaning sidewalks and vegetation around sidewalks, all in favor? That's carried.
Can I just mention one thing about the public superintendent or the report? They've done an excellent job on the corner here. At the tracks, all right, but I would ask you, they might look at the other side of the tracks.
I had the exact same thought today,
Is that
so
when you come up Front
on
Street
front, you can't
and
see,
you're in a car, you can't see a car
That's right.
coming over the track.
100%.
yeah, agreed, I'll deal with that
You
tomorrow.
don't come that way.
No, I don't,
No.
no.
If you
that's-
When, just before you get to the tracks, when you're coming up Smith Street, there's a big bush on the side.
Yeah, and
Oh,
you
On the
can't,
opposite side of
you
the,
can't see towards McIntyre,
that was excellent, that was
they're
really
doing good
pleased
work,
when I seen how they cleaned that out.
it's the best students we've ever had.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not taking it personally at all. Then we have, Community Parks and Recreation Committee, probably, any comments about that? Public Health, unapproved minutes.
Do you wanna process that?
Counselor McVeigh, will you first, and Counselor Richter? Be it resolved that council receives the Community Parks and Recreation Committee minutes dated May 13th, 2025 as presented. And further, that council thanks the family of Michael Vaganini for the generous donation to the Recreation Committee that was made in his memory. All in favor? It's carried. And we don't need to do anything for public health, aqua. And is that it?
Yeah, that's
That's
it. Confirmatory bylaw.
Hang on, Counselor McDonald.
Oh, I'm out of here.
No. Moved by Counselor McDonald, second by Counselor Austin, be it resolved that being a bylaw to come from the proceedings of the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Narren and Hyman, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed in the open council, and its number shall be 2025-22. All in favor? Carried.
Okay. Just to close it and then meeting tomorrow.
Okay, Counselor Richter, you're moving, Counselor McVeigh seconding.
Sure.
Be it resolved that the meeting of July 14th do now adjourn at 10:05 PM. To meet again on July 15th of 2025 for a special county meeting or at the call of the mayor. All in favor? Carried. So that's a meeting tomorrow at 2 PM, 3 PM?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Don't.
Good work, everybody.